औज़ुबिल्लाहि मिनश्शैतानिर्रजीम बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम। प्यारे तलबा, अस्सलाम वालेकुम वरहमतुल्लाहि वबरकातुहू। बच्चों, हम आज पिछले 2 दिनों से जो हमारा चैप्टर है, जो हमारा टॉपिक है, वो है अंडरस्टैंडिंग मार्जिनलाइजेशन। इसमें हमने अब तक देखा what does it mean to be socially marginalized, who are Adivasis and development। ये हमने मुकम्मल किया। आज जो हमारा इसी चैप्टर का टॉपिक है, जो पढ़ने जा रहे हैं, वो है माइनॉरिटीज़ एंड मार्जिनलाइजेशन। In Unit 1, you read that the Constitution provides safeguards to religious and linguistic minorities as part of our fundamental rights. Why do you think these minority groups have been provided these safeguards? The term minority is most commonly used to refer to communities that are numerically small in relation to the rest of the population. However, it is a concept that goes well beyond numbers. It encompasses issues of power, access to resources, and has social and cultural dimensions. As you read in Unit 1, the Indian Constitution recognized that the culture of the majority influences that the way in which society and government might express themselves. In such cases, size can be a disadvantage and led to the marginalization of the relatively smaller communities. Thus, safeguards are needed to protect minority communities against the possibility of being culturally dominated by the majority. They also protect them against any discrimination and disadvantage that they may face given certain conditions. Communities that are small in number relative to the rest of society may feel insecure about their lives, assets, and well being. This sense of insecurity may get accentuated if the relations between the minority and majority communities are fraught. The Constitution provides these safeguards because it is committed to protecting India's cultural diversity and promoting equality as well as justice. As you have already read in Chapter 5, the judiciary plays a crucial role in upholding the law and enforcing fundamental rights. Every citizen of India can approach the courts if they believe that their fundamental rights have been violated. Now, let us understand marginalization in the context of the Muslim community. आप देख रहे हैं हम Muslims and marginalization. According to 2011 census, Muslims are 14.2% of India's population and are considered to be a marginalized community in India today because, in comparison to other communities, they have over the years been deprived of the benefits of socio-economic development. The data in the three tables below, derived from different sources, indicate the situation of the Muslim community with regard to the basic amenities, literacy, and public employment. Read the tables below. What do you think these tables tell us about the socio-economic status of Muslim community? पहला टेबल है Access to Basic Amenities 2008 to 2009. Religious community, Pakka house, electricity, tap water. Hindus 65.4, electricity 75.2, tap water 43.7. इसके बरक्स मुस्लिम देखेंगे, उनके पक्का हाउस जो है वो है 63.8, इलेक्ट्रिसिटी 76.5, टैप वाटर 35.8. क्रिश्चियंस 69.3, 86.2, 48. Sikh 91.3, 96, 49.3. दूसरा जो टेबल है वो है लिटरेसी रेट बाय रिलीजन 2011. सबकी जो है वो है 74, टोटल जो है वो है 74 इन ऑल. हिंदूज 63, मुस्लिम्स 57, क्रिश्चियन 74, सिख्स 76, बुद्धिस्ट 71, जैनस 86. तीसरा जो है वो है पब्लिक एम्प्लॉयमेंट ऑफ मुस्लिम्स इन परसेंटेज. पॉपुलेशन 13.5, IAS 3, IPS 4, IFS 1.8, Central Public Sector Unit 3.3, State PSU 10.8, Banks and RBI 2.2. Recognizing that Muslims in India were lagging behind in terms of various development indicators, the government set up a high-level committee in 2005 chaired by Justice Rajendra Sachar. The committee examined the social, economic, and educational status of Muslim community in India. The report discusses in detail the marginalization of this country. It suggests that on a range of social, economic, and educational indicators, the situation of the Muslim community is comparable to that of other marginalized communities like scheduled caste and scheduled tribes. For example, according to the report, the average years of schooling for Muslim children between the age of 7 to 16 is much lower than that of other socio-religious communities. Economic and social marginalization experienced by Muslims has other dimensions as well. Like other minorities, Muslim customs and practices are sometimes quite distinct from what is seen as the mainstream. Some, not all, Muslims may wear a burqa, support a long beard, wear a fiz, and these become ways to identify all Muslims. Because of this, they tend to be identified differently, and some people think they are not like the rest of us. Often, this becomes an excuse to treat them unfairly and discriminate against them. Do you remember reading in your class 7th book about how the Ansaris were finding it difficult to rent a house? This social marginalization of Muslims in some instances had led to them migration from places where they have lived, often leading to the ghettoization of the community. Sometimes this prejudice leads to hatred and violence. बच्चों अब हम इसके कंक्लूजन पर आ रहे हैं। देखते हैं इस चैप्टर का लास्ट पर कंक्लूजन क्या है। In this chapter, we have tried to understand what it means to be a marginalized community. We have tried to look at this through the experiences of different marginalized communities. There are different reasons for each of these communities being marginalized. Each experiences marginalization in different ways. We have also seen that marginalization is linked to experiencing disadvantage, prejudice, and powerlessness. In India, there are several more marginalized communities like Dalits, of whom you will read more in the next chapter. Marginalization results in having a low social status and not having equal access to education and other resources. Yet, the lives of marginalization people can and do change. Thus, no one is marginalized all the time in exactly the same way. If we go back to the two examples of marginalization we have discussed, we will see that each of these groups has a long history of struggle and resistance. Marginalized communities want to maintain their cultural distinctiveness while having access to rights, development, and other opportunities. In the next chapter, we will read about how different groups have confronted marginalization. बच्चों इस तरह से हमारा ये चैप्टर ख़त्म हुआ। कल इंशाल्लाह इसके सवालात हल करेंगे। तब तक के लिए खुदा हाफिज़।